Welcome to CRM customer onboarding tutorial. Today I'll be explaining to you some basic functions in the CRM system. Once you're logged in with your credentials, you'll be provided with this screen, which is the dashboard. And in this, I'll be showing you how to manage customers. Now I'll be showing you how to add new customers. Under this customer management, click on customers. Here you'll be provided with a list of customers which have already been created. Now I'll be showing you how to create a new one. Click on this add customer. Here you'll be provided with a pop-up where you have to add the details of your customer. I'll be providing in some random details just for your reference. And after you've entered the details, click on the submit button. As you can see, the customer I've created is in the top of the list. Here you can edit your customer with any additional details. As you can see, the customer which I have created is in the top of the list with every details which I have provided. And if you wish to edit the details of your customer, you can click on this pencil icon under the action section, and where you'll be provided with the same pop-up where you can edit the details of your customer. Once you're done, you can click on the submit button. And if you wish to delete the customer, you can come under this action section and you can click on this, and you'll be provided with these options. For now, I'll not be deleting any customer, so I'll be clicking on the no. And that is how you create a customer. Now I'll be showing you how to create branches. As you know, a single customer can have multiple branches, and I'll be showing you how to do that. You can come to this customers, you can click on this, and you can go to the customer which you have created and under the branches you can go to the manage, and in this manage you can see the branch which we have created for that customer. And if you want to add one more branch for this customer, you can click on this add branch, and you'll be provided with the same form where I'll be adding in the details just for your reference. And in the billing section, I'll be adding the GST details, and I'll be adding in the PAN details, and I'll be clicking on the submit button. Now you can see there's one more branch which has been created for the customer which I've already created. Once you've created your branch, you can see the branch created in the top of the list, and you can edit the details of your branch under this action section. Clicking on this, you'll be provided with the form once again. If you wish to edit the details, you can do that, and you can click on the submit button. And if you wish to delete the branch, you can click on the delete button, which I'm not gonna do it right now. And now I'll be showing you how to add the details of the contact persons for a particular branch. You have to come under the customer management. You have to click on the customer contact persons. Here you can see the list of contact persons which have already been created. If you wish to add a new one, click on the add person. and you'll be given this form. And in the customer section, you have to add the customer details which you have created and the branch which you have created. Here you can see there are two options for branches, because I've created two branches for this particular customer, and I'll be adding in this one, and I'll fill in the details randomly just for your reference. And here in the comment section, you can add any comments of your concern. Next is the account login section, which has two options, enable and disable, which provides you with the option of giving login access to the customer. Now I'll be clicking on the disable button and I'll be clicking on the submit. Here you can see the contact person has been created and it's here. And under the action section, you can click on this icon to edit the contact person details. And if you wish to delete it, you can click on this and you can select the options. And that is it for the customer management. Next we'll be moving on to the plans. And now to create a plan for your customer, go here, scroll down, and under organization, click on the plans. Here you can see the list of plans which have already been created. And to create a new plan, click on this create plan, and you'll be provided with this form. And for the title, I'll be giving testing just for reference. And the plan is for the customer, and the plan holder is the customer which you have created. Start and end date is the commencement of the plan, the duration of the plan. The start date will be 4th, and the end date I'll be giving 6th. Description can be anything you prefer. And here are the list of services, and I'll be selecting a couple of these services just for your reference. Here you can see the price of the services and the time it takes for the services to be completed. And once you've selected the services you want, click on the submit. And the plan has been created, which is here. You can view your plan by clicking on this icon. Here are the details for the plan you have created for the customer. And if you wish to edit the plan, you can click on this. Here, as you can see, you can't you can add more services, but you can't remove the ones which you already selected. You can even change the date, and you can give the description. Once you have added any new services, you can click on the submit button to commence, and the plan has been updated. And next I'll be showing you how to create a form template. You come to this list, and under service management, click on the templates. Here you can see the list of templates which have already been created before. If you wish to add a new template, click on this create template button. You'll be given this form. You add the details. I'll be adding in some random details just for your reference. And for the customer, select the customer we have created. And for the service check, let's select the address residence check. Let me rename this template name as address verification form. And in the description, you can give anything you prefer. And is this a base template? This option lets you decide whether this current form is a base template or not. For that, I'll be selecting. Next would be the copy fields from the existing template. Here, if I enable this, I'll be getting a drop down bar of all the templates which have been created before. Here I can select a particular template to inherit the text fields from that particular template, which I won't be doing it right now. I'll be creating my own text fields. So I'll be disabling this, and once the details have been filled, I'll be clicking on the submit button. And once I've entered the details, I'll be redirected to this page. As you know, the template form I created is for an address check. So there are two types of form basically. One is the input data form and the other one is the output data form. Currently I'm gonna show you how to do the input data form. Basically the input data form is the details which we have collected from the candidate. So these general fields are customer reference ID, name, email, mobile, and comments, which are the basic details which I have collected from the candidate. If there are any further details which I have collected from the candidate, you can add in this custom field. And here you can see there's a list of features which you can add to your form. And for example, let me take address type of the candidate. And for that, I'll be selecting this drop down list. Here you can see there's a list of properties for this particular field, which is the drop down list. The first one is the required field with a checkbox. If you select the checkbox, you can see there's a star which comes here, which represents that this particular field has to be filled in mandatorily. And the second one is the label, which represents this particular field's name, and I'll be giving in this as address type. And help text, if you wish to add any help text, you can add it. And the placeholder text will be the text which instructs you what should be added in the particular field, which I won't be adding it right now. And the class will be selected default, and the name I'll be giving an address type. And the next is the allow multiple selections, which I won't be enabling right now because the option should be selected individually. And yeah, the next one is the options, where you can provide options for this particular field. The first option for the address type, I'll be giving in permanent address. With the value 1, and I would like to add one more option. For that, you have to click on this button, and here I'll be adding in temporary address as the second option. And for that, I'll be giving in the value as value 2. And if you wish to add more options, you can click on this. For right now, I'll be moving on from this. And the next is the share with API vendor, which has been already selected yes as default, which represents that this particular field, once the form has been submitted, that this particular data will be shared with the API or the vendor. And the next is the share with reporting, which is also has been selected yes as default. And this represents once the form has been submitted, this particular data in this text field will be shared with the report. And the next is the data validation rejects, which I'll be explaining to you later. And next is the date format, which also I'll be explaining later. And the last one is the data can be editable after execution, which has been selected yes. This option lets you edit this entire property once again after you've submitted the form. Uh, if you select this as no, you won't be able to edit this form it has been saved. So once you've entered all the details, you click on this save form, and you click on this OK, and you'll be redirected back to this page. Here you can see there's a new custom field which I've added right now as address type, and if I click on this, I'll be getting these options. And now I'll be showing you how to add few more custom fields. Let's start with state. I'll be coming here in this list of features. I'll be clicking on the state, and in this properties the label has been given state already. I'll be keeping that, and in the placeholder I'll be typing in please enter state, and the class which has been given default, I won't be editing that, and the name I'll be giving in as state 1, and the text field and the type of the this field I'll be giving in as text field, and max length of this field I'll be setting it as 20, which means that this field can take up to 20 characters. And in the data validation regex, this shows that in this text field you can set a format for a data which you can enter. Here you can see there's a new custom field which has been created, which is called the state, and there's a placeholder text here which I have typed in the properties. Next I'll be adding in a new custom field called city. Here in the features I'll be clicking on the city, and in the properties and the label I'll be keeping this as city itself, and I won't be giving any placeholder text, and the class I'll be keeping this as default, and the name I'll be giving as city1 just for your reference. And in the options I'll be adding in a couple of cities just for your reference. And yeah, I'll be adding one more option. And I've given 3 options, and I'll be keeping all these settings as the same. And once I've filled all the details required, I'll be clicking on the save form. Here you can see there's a new custom field called the city, and here there's our options which I've created. Next I'll be showing you, now I'll be adding a new field for a pin code. I'll be selecting the text field once again. Here in this label I'll be typing down pin code, and I'll keep this class name as default, and the name I'll give pin code 1, and the maximum length I'll be giving in 6. There's one more option where you can set the format for the data you are entering in the field, and in this data validation regex you can give the format. You'll have to start with a open bracket and a open box bracket, and in this I'll be typing in 0 to 9, which represents numericals. I'll be closing it with a box bracket first, and I'll be closing it with a normal bracket, and inside curly braces I'll be giving in the maximum length of characters, which will be 6, as there are only 6 characters in a pin code. I'll be giving it this, and once all the details have been filled, I'll be clicking on the save form. There's a pin code field where I'll be adding in a random pin code. In the next field I'll be adding in is the address field, and for that I'll be selecting this text area as it's a little bit bigger than the text field. Here I'll be giving this label as address, and I'll be in the place where I'll be giving text as enter your address, and in the name I'll be giving in address 1. I can even set the maximum length of characters for this field, which I won't be selecting, and you can set the number of rows, and in the data validation you can select a format for the data to be entered. As address contains both uh, numericals and alphabets, I won't be giving in anything, and I'll be clicking on the save form. Here you can see there's an address field which you can increase or decrease by dragging the mouse by clicking on this edge. And the next field I'll be adding in will be landmark, and for that I'll be selecting a text field, and I'll be giving the label as landmark, and I'll keep all the settings as default. I'll be clicking on the save form. And next I'll be adding one more field which will be the verification type, and for that I'll be selecting a drop down list. Here I'll be typing in the label as verification type. There are two types of verification in this, which will be the self verification, and one more will be the executive verification, and I'll be adding the value as 2, and I'll be saving the form. You can see there are two types of verification types which you can select. And now I've created all the fields for which the candidate has given the details. Next I'll be showing you how to do the output form, and for that you'll have to click on this outputs, and you'll be redirected to this page. Here you can see there's no fields which have been created. uh, Output data fields basically represents the data we collect from the candidates. So the fields which we might create for an address checks are, should be the name of the person met during the address check. So for that I'll be taking in the text field, and I'll be giving the label name as name of the person met, and I'll be renaming this as name of person met 1, and I will be saving the form. Next would be the relationship with the person met. So I'll be taking in one more text field, and I'll be renaming this as and I'll be selecting this required text box as it is mandatory for the candidate to fill it, and I'll be saving the form. The next field would be the period of stay. For that I'll be taking in the text field, and I'll be renaming this label as period of stay, and I'll name this as POS just for your reference, and I'll be saving the form. The next field would be the contact number of the person met, and for that I'll be adding in a text field. I'll be renaming this as contact number of person met, and in the name I'll be typing in contact person just for your reference. Here I'll be giving the maximum length as 10 for the contact number, and I'll be saving the form. And the next field would be the residence ownership. I have multiple options, so I'll be taking in the drop down list. Here I'll be giving the label as residence ownership, and in the options I'll be giving the first option as own. I'll be giving the second option as lease. Give the value for the second option as value 2. I'll add one more option for the rent, and I'll be giving the value for the third option as value 3, and I'll be saving the form. Here you can see there's a list of options for this residence ownership. And the next field would be type of residence, which I'll again select the drop down list. I'll rename this as type of residence, and I'll be giving in some options. The first one will be independent. The second option will be a flat. I'll give the value as value 2. The third option will be groups of houses. And the fourth option will be quarters. And the value I'll be giving as 4. And I'll make this, okay, it's already checked as required, and I'll be saving the form. Next field I'll be giving will be the landmark. For that I'll be selecting the text field. I'll be typing this as landmark. I'll be saving this. And the final field will be the additional comments field. For that I'll be adding a text area. And I'll be saving it. This additional comments field has been provided in case the address check is done by the executive. Once you've entered all the fields required, you can save the form. And if you wish to preview the form, you can click on this preview. Which shows all the fields which I have added. In case if you want to add a upload box to upload any particular documents, you can click on this edit uploads, where you've been given on 2 options. You can click on this upload box, where you can select the properties of the upload box. For this I'll be giving this as passport image 1, and I'll be making this field mandatory. And in this option, if you select it, you can upload multiple files, and I'll be disabling this and I'll be saving the form. We're clicking on the preview. Here you can see there's a upload box with a passport image where you can add the passport image. If you wish to add multiple documents, if you require the candidate to upload any more documents, you can create additional upload boxes for those particular documents. And in the input fields, if you want to create upload boxes, uh, you can do it with the same method. By going into the input data fields and by clicking on the manage uploads. Here you will be given the same option to create upload boxes. And this concludes the customer onboarding tutorial using CRM. Thank you for your time and take care.